definitely not as cool as my Corvette. Hey guys, sorry to tease you like that, but unfortunately I'm not taking the Corvette out today. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see up there, but unfortunately it's looking a little bit like it could rain a little bit. So I was going to start this video out by taking the Corvette out for a ride, but unfortunately not going to do that. Just going to drive the Jeep today because I have yet to give you guys a proper introduction to my 2008 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and that is what today's video is going to be, as I promised in a few videos ago. So before I get into any of that, I do want to thank everybody that's come to my channel for my my C4 Corvette. Of course, that is going to be a primary focus of my channel, but I also do own a 2008 Jeep Wrangler, and of course with winter coming, I'm not going to be able to drive the Corvette, so I want to start getting my Jeep videos going here too. But the first thing that we're going to be doing today is I have to go to my local DMV because unfortunately, one day I was driving my Corvette, I had the top off, and I, for some reason, decided to open up my center console. I think I was going to grab my rag to wipe my glasses, and my little piece of paper for my registration just decided to go straight up and out the top of my car. So I'm running up to the DMV real quick. I'm going to get a replacement because I don't really know if you even need those anymore with, you know, plates and the systems that they have, but I just don't want to take any chances, spend a couple bucks and definitely get a replacement here. Another thing is I just got a magnetic mount for my well, basically any of my Heroes, but I'm only going to risk putting my Hero Plus on it. So giving that a trial run today and see if that actually is strong enough to to stay on the car at anything higher than neighborhood speeds. So, but I'm pulling into the DMV right now. Hopefully it's not too busy. It doesn't look too bad. So I guess I'm going to run in real quick and take care of that, and I will be right back with you. All right, taken care of. And the sun's out, it did not rain, so I probably should have taken my Corvette out for a ride. And just to make sure that doesn't happen again, going in a nice safe spot in my center console that I will not open this time while I'm driving. Heading up to the park. I'm going to stop off real quick, get a car wash, and I'll just time lapse you guys through that because I know I did that in my last video, but Jeep's been outside for basically outside my garage ever since I got the Corvette, and since it's a Jeep, it's dirty, and honestly it's a Jeep, so I guess no big deal. But I'm going to be shooting some video and some pictures of it here. I'd at least like to clean it up just a little bit. Real quick before I get started on that, I just want to show you. I picked up this little mount on Amazon. I'll actually drop the link in the description of this video, but it basically came with two pieces, a Velcro mount and the Gopro Mount, and I added this tether just for a little extra safety so that I don't lose it. So like I said, I'm not going to bore you guys with a whole nother car wash. I'm just going to time lapse you through it real quick. So there we go. That wasn't so bad. I didn't worry about cleaning it as much as I did my Corvette because, frankly, it's a Jeep. I'm not going to worry about drying it. I'm just going to let it air dry. All right. Well, looks like I cleaned it gently enough that I don't have to worry about any major leaks to wipe down. I know we had a pretty big rainstorm that came through a while back, and I actually had a puddle of water on my dashboard because I don't know if you can see this here or not, but there's a little bit of flex in the top, and unfortunately, it looks like the top that came with the Jeep, and it just kind of sucks. So, but I do have a solution for that. I'm not going to get into that just yet. Let's head to the park. Hey, look at this. There's a Jeep crew down here. Wonder what they're up to. So we're here at Grant Park, and it is time to introduce you to my 2008 Jeep Wrangler. The only thing is when I first got here, I kind of, I looked around and I was looking for a place that just didn't have a lot of people. Kind of a quiet area so I could, record my video and just not have any interruptions and things like that. It's a beautiful day out. It's almost the end of summer, and the interesting thing is, I don't know, I'm just going to try and be nonchalant about this, but I don't know if you see that little silver car over there, but the funny thing was I just parked over here in the shade, and I understand it's a public place and everything like that, but not to sound like an old fogey or anything like that, but this dude in the silver car is, kind of blaring his music, revving his engine, he's got it, tuned a little bit and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that, but he circles around the parking lot, and then he decides that, literally, he pulls up right behind me and just sits with his music blaring and leaves his engine running, literally right here. Well, actually I sit here for a couple minutes, and I'm like, okay. So I go up and I ask the kid, I'm like, hey, do you need something, or is there an issue here or something like that? Oh, no, I just wanted to park here in the shade. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but literally, kind of what he did is, if you go to a movie, the entire theater is empty, and you just sit down right next to somebody. I mean, that's fine. The kid eventually moved, and it's no big deal, but just one of those weird things. Anyways, I'm going to get back to the topic at hand. And of course, as I said, I'm introducing you guys to my 2008 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited 4-door. It has the 3.8 liter V6 engine with the part-time 4-wheel drive and with low overdrive. It is the Unlimited X model, about 85,000 miles on it. Air conditioning is about the only luxury option that it has. Do have manual locks, manual windows, no special sound system. It is far from perfect. I got about 86,000 miles on it at the moment. I don't honestly know off the top of my head, but I actually got it in late summer of 2016, so I've had it for just a little bit over a year. Unfortunately, I've only put about 2 or maybe 3,000 miles on it total. I actually purchased it from a gentleman in Illinois who lived near Libertyville, and found it online. Looked nice. It was the red rock color that I really liked and I really wanted. So yeah, I decided that this was definitely the Jeep that I wanted. Before I get into the history of why I got it and the reasons behind it, first things I want to do is give you the tour of it and show you that, of course, it is the Wrangler Unlimited X model. So it's basically the sport model that's you can actually get now. I believe back from, like, 2007 until 2011 or whatever, the sport model was actually referred to as being the X model, and that, of course, is what I got. Now, what I really did want to get was the Sahara. I didn't think the Rubicon was really, I thought that would be overkill for, what I would actually use this thing for. But, the X serves its purpose. It is an automatic. Of course, it's got the four-wheel drive. Believe it or not, there are some Wranglers out there that don't have four-wheel drive. I've got the pretty well standard 17-inch. I don't know what they're technically called. Just the standard 17-inch. They're not the tiny little the sport rims from, like, the basically the lowest model that you can get. Those are actually, I believe, I think those are actually 16s. So at least these are definitely the right size. It came with the Goodyear, the Wrangler tires, and of course I'm not a terribly big fan of Goodyear. I have had a few in the past, and they just didn't seem to hold up as well as I'd like. But I'm not knocking them. It's just, of all the tires that I've had, Goodyear aren't my favorites. The ones I would really like to get would be the BFG, the Goodrich all-terrain tires. I've had a few of those before, and those definitely served me well. But the tread is so good on these. The tread's so good, I'm not gonna bother with it. But I might actually look into getting some of the Rubicon wheels in the future. I really like the look of those gunmetal inserts that they have on those steel wheels. Those are definitely nice. Of course, we've got the 3.8 V6. I haven't really had a chance to clean this thing up, but again, dirt looks good on a Jeep, so that's fine. But again, it's the 3.8 V6. The quote-unquote minivan engine, I guess, as some people call it. It's underpowered, and they all are, and is what it is. But I did put a Optima red top in. I just figured if you're going to put a new battery in, might as well get one of the best ones you can. And again, up in the front we have the Goodyear Wranglers as well. A little worn, a little bit more, but probably due for a rotation to the back. Got the typical, the 7-slat Jeep grill. Unfortunately, my bumper has seen a little bit of wear and tear. And of course, that is not from anything that I've done. I actually bought it that way, but I had plans for, at some point in time in the future, that I'm gonna get a new bumper and a bunch of other stuff for it anyways, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But there's a dent there, dent there. It's definitely seen its use. I've got the vinyl Fender Flares. I would have liked to get the body color ones, but you know what? I do kind of like the look of the black Fender Flares, especially when you have the running board. Goes up into the fender flare, comes around. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like that look, but I kind of do. I think it kind of ties everything together, and of course, a little bit of armor all, and those shine right up and make it look nice. So, and then I got my, the license plate frame there is cracked. Gonna have to replace that. The back bumper, unfortunately, has got a little bit of dent in it over here, and just been roughed up a little bit. And of course, I got the soft top on it right now. I do have the 3-piece hard top, the Freedom panels in the front with the hard top in the back. That's definitely going on for winter, but the soft top itself, I believe it is factory. I don't know if it came with it. I know the previous owner had it. He used it all the time. Unfortunately, I think it's a little jagged up because it just doesn't seem to fit perfectly. The frame on it, I think, is a little jacked, and unfortunately in the front above the windshield, it doesn't actually fit perfectly. So unfortunately when it rains, there's a little bit of water that does come in, and wind noise, and unfortunately nothing I can really do about that. It's a 10-year-old Jeep. What I did do is I plan to get a new top, and that'll be a story for another time. Now, again, it's not perfect. It does have some of the typical Jeep flaws. So the JK Jeeps unfortunately had some sort of problem with the metals. I guess the hinges are aluminum, but once they're mounted to the steel doors, they get some sort of chemical reaction between them that actually causes them to corrode. I know it's been kind of a common problem. Actually, this part usually ends up starting to bubble, but they look pretty good there. Fronts are doing the same, you know. So I don't know, it makes the door a little rough to open. Like if I go to just close it, it stops. Usually you can just slam the door pretty good. Passenger side is like that too. So the back one here is actually the worst. It literally, it does not. I actually have to put a lot of effort into that. So that one's in not very good shape, and it actually is showing, I don't know if you can see it here in the camera, but it is showing the surface rust and the corrosion. So the driver's door actually is in good shape. I think they were replaced at one point. I'm pretty sure that was the case. It opens and closes really nice. And if you look in here closely, it looks like the bolts had been spun on and spun off, so I'm pretty sure that the front hinges had been replaced. In the back here, you've got your 5th spare tire that almost every Wrangler has. You got a lot of nice storage space in the back. Got the nice roll up on the window, and I put this Rugged Ridge liner in just to kind of protect the back, and these were actually my pads when I was pushing that Jeep Liberty that I owned over to the service station multiple times. The one thing that I actually like about the 4-door Unlimited versus the 2-door is I've always really liked the Sportback angled roll bar. I just think that it looks really cool, and it's just too bad that the top that's on here kind of hides that. But yeah, that's definitely going to change here very soon. So now we're going to take a look at the inside real quick. It's not as tidy as I wish it would be at the moment, but I just wanted to, you know, it's a Jeep. Come on, it's a Jeep. Anyways, you know, the typical early JK interior, kind of the rugged look. I did put in these Rugged Ridge floor liners to protect it from the elements as best as it can. Of course, it's got the automatic transmission, the 4-wheel drive. I do not have the subwoofer system. It's got the nice storage console that locks. You got the glove box over there that locks, which the locking glove box would be nice if they would have had that in the C4 Corvette, but whatever, I'll take it in one of them. I have all manual, so I don't have power locks, or, you know, power windows and that, so traditional old style, roll it up. But yeah, as you can see, it's got 85,000 miles on it. Overall, I can't complain. I mean, it's, you know, the seats aren't all tore up. It's in generally pretty good shape for the year. The miles are good. I want to do the best I can to protect it with the floor liners and that. Of course, you got a lot of cargo room in the back. You know, the seats fold flat and go all the way. The back seats are in really nice shape, you know, overall. I do have the just the standard stereo system. It does not have the subwoofer in the back. It just has the speaker bars up on top. I already have done one mod of this thing. I did replace, this used to be just flat on the top here, so I did put in this, I believe it's by DayStar. and it's just a little, I don't know why that's up there, but just a little pocket, or a little spot for you to be able to, you know, set a cell phone. You know, mine's a little too big for it now with the case I have on it, but you know, it actually will sit up here pretty good. And unfortunately, because of the model that I have, I don't really have much in the way of buttons. This is the stability and the hazards. Of course, it has the always on power outlet, and then this is the one that is only lit up when or only powered when the car actually has the key in the ignition. Got air conditioning, but I don't really use it all that often. Yeah, so the oh shit handles, I guess, is about the only thing you really call it. But I know a lot of people don't necessarily like the interior look of these, the way that they made it. I mean, it does kind of have that rugged, utilitarian kind of interior. I mean, it's very, you know, I could definitely go without all the plastic, but I mean, as far as everything's concerned, you know, for a Jeep, I mean, it's a Jeep. It's not supposed to look like a Lexus or whatever. I mean, it's got a rugged interior. It's in nice shape, you know. Everything's kind of right where you want it. The one thing that I do wish that they would have done differently is, instead of have the radio at the top here and these down here, I think it would have probably made more sense to have the radio in here and have these up near the top. I don't know. It's just a personal preference of mine, but I mean, I really can't give you a good reason for it. I just think aesthetically it would have looked a little bit better with the vents up at the top there. But it's a lot more basic than the Corvette. Not a lot of things to really talk about when it comes to the Jeep. It's a Jeep, you know. There are a lot of cool things you can do with it. Doors come off, the top comes off, and yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Alright guys, so after taking a few days to go through all the footage that I shot for my my video here, unfortunately it's running a bit long. So instead of trying to cut out a bunch of stuff and really truncate the video down to a reasonable level, I really don't, once you get over 20 minutes for a video, I think it's starting to get a little bit long. So what I'm going to do is I'm breaking up this video into 2 parts. Of course, the part that you just watched is the official introduction to my Jeep, and the next video that I'm going to post in the next couple days is actually going to be me explaining why I got the Jeep and my history with you know, having Jeeps and just stuff like that. And I figure that would probably make a better separate video so that this one doesn't run any longer than it currently does. So I'm going to end this one here, and of course I thank you all very much for watching. Of course there will be more Corvette videos coming in the very near future, but like I said, the next video is going to be explaining about how I came to own my Jeep and why and all that. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting from you guys out there. And of course, as I kind of explained, you know, with winter coming, I will need a way to bring content to you guys from my channel, and my Jeep Wrangler is of course going to be my winter vehicle, with the Corvette, you know, going into storage over the winter and that. So of course, with that said, that's going to do it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.